What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I'm here to talk about the most unreliable UFC fighters. And this was spurred on when I was looking at the card. I mean, look at this absolute banger main event. We've got the perennial main event superstar, Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Bro has to train 5 rounds every single camp to fight for 30 seconds. And of course, the hype train himself, the human blob Gaziev, one of the greatest fighters to ever exist. Bro has one more UFC fight than me, and he's main eventing a fight night, dude. So, of course, I'm on the card this weekend as well, guys. I'm fighting Matt Schnell. Thanks for all the well wishes. But I'm going to be talking about the UFC fighters that when you pick them, when you see them on a card, you're rooting for them, but you just can't trust them to get it done or perform properly. Let's get straight into it. Flyweight division, Tim Elliott, dude. Tim Elliott is not this great fighter that you go, oh my God, I really want to pick this guy. You only pick Tim Elliott if you think it's going to be a fraud check, dude. And look at his record. It's basically a fucking coin flip every time. Either he completely fraud checks people, he out wrestles them, he's good, catches them in a nasty submission, looked good against Makayev as well, or he fumbles the bag every single time. Tim Elliott, you literally almost shouldn't be allowed to pick this guy. And there's a couple guys on this list that are similar that I feel like you just can't pick them. You're kind of just in the back of your mind like, oh, he might actually fluke this, he might win this, or, you know, he might perform well and get this one done. Tim Elliott is a perfect example of a fighter that I can't trust him. Like, there's times where I wanted to pick him, but I'm like, I just can't pick him, dude. Because either he will win or he will fuck this up. So, Tim Elliott, welcome to the club, bro. Flyweight division, that's my pick. Let's move on to the Bantamweight division. How many times did I fuck up your parlay? Exactly. Cody Garbrandt, and I feel like it's going to happen again at 300. I just can't rely on my boy. I love Cody Garbrandt. I want him to beat Davison Figueiredo. But there was a stretch, dude, where it was like, all right, this is the one where he bounces back and then he fucking chins himself trying to brawl with the guy, dude. So Cody Garbrandt, definitely an unreliable fighter, definitely a guy that you're worried about the entire time. Even if you pick him, right, like even against Kelleher, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to pick Cody Garbrandt. I think he's going to KO him. In the back of my head, I was like, dude, he could get chinned here and fuck this whole thing up. So I do think Cody Garbrandt fits into the unreliable kind of team because, man, this guy is one good right hand away from getting on the post fight. You know, I got to bounce back. Exactly. Yeah. Like, you know, you just can't fucking trust this guy to win. As much as you want him to win, in the back of your mind, you're worried as fuck as soon as this guy steps foot in the cage, dude. Let's move on to a new recent addition to the squad. Newest signing over here in the team, inconsistent. Yair Rodriguez, welcome to the league, buddy. This guy, literally, this fucking guy, dude. This fucking pipsqueak, man. Every time I pick this guy, he looks like shit, dude. Every time I'm like, you know what? Nah, Yair's not winning this shit, bro. Max is going to beat this guy up. Max is going to melt him, blah, blah, blah. Josh Emmett's going to be a tough fight for him. Bro wants to turn into fucking prime Jose Aldo every time I don't pick him. But then when I'm like, you know what? Yeah, Yair Rodriguez can get this one done. Just, oh my God. Bro just melts like a fucking ice cream in the summer. Trust. Yair Rodriguez, definitely one of the most unreliable guys to get behind because, again, he is a good fighter. It's like the Tim Elliott and Cody Garbrandt. He is a good fighter. Like, there is reasons to pick Yair Rodriguez consistently, right? Or to think he's going to go on a decent run. And then, you know, he just lets you down time and time again. When it matters most, bro is just missing that wide open 3-game winner. You just can't trust him anymore, especially when there's grappling involved. And for that reason, Yair Rodriguez, you have made the list, my brother. Yeah, dude, crazy entrance. Now, the next two, I have talked about these fighters very recent in yesterday's video, to be honest, but I gotta be real. They fit this video perfectly, dude. I know I said I can fix their careers, but in the meantime, dude, picking Michael Chandler is so fucking stressful. Like, I like the Dustin Poirier fight. I called it perfectly. I was like, dude, he's gonna be better than fucking Dustin Poirier. He's gonna beat Dustin Poirier, then he's gonna figure out a way to lose. That is what Michael Chandler. This is what he does. He's an alien, bro. Every time this guy literally knows exactly how to beat his opponent. He'll do it perfectly in the first round. Soon as round 2 hits, fucking, you know, monkey mode activated, dude. He just goes on all fours. He's fucking crawling around trying to do suplexes, overhands over and over again, smiling as he's just getting 10-8'd. Michael Chandler, his fight IQ just makes him so unreliable. You cannot pick him to beat someone that he is literally better than in every way. Like, bro, dude, Michael Chandler, I feel like he's better than Dustin Poirier, but I would never pick him to beat Dustin. You know what I'm saying? Even the Tony fight, I was kind of like, you know what? He might fuck this up. He might be the guy to fuck this up, but I'm glad he didn't. He was losing that fight as well. So Michael Chandler, definitely one of the most unreliable UFC fighters. This guy will let you down like an elevator. Trust. All right, Michael Chandler is my pick for lightweight. Let's move on to the welterweight division. Kevin Holland, one of the most unreliable, threw up a prayer type picks to make, is a Kevin Holland KO. You're just as likely to get Kevin Holland getting laid on talking for 25 minutes as you are to get a Kevin Holland beautiful finish performance where he just looks actually really good. Like, pause, major pause on all of that. But you know what I'm saying, dude. You're flipping a coin. You're either getting Kevin Holland highlight reel KOing somebody or tapping them the fuck out, and you go, oh my god, he's finally figuring it out. Or he just gets dominated and just, you know, gets on the post. I don't really give a fuck, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what you get with Kevin Holland. How can you rely on this man? How can you pick this man and sleep well at night? I don't know. Even against Michael Chiesa, I picked him via DAS. I was shitting my pants when Michael Chiesa got a hold of him. I was like, bro, this guy's going to fuck this up somehow. But Kevin Holland, I do think he can turn it around if he decides to actually like lock in and focus. Like I said in yesterday's video, if he lets me corner him, I will sort out all his fucking problems, dude. But in the meantime, let me win my fight against Matt Schnell. Let's get Kevin Holland through the MVP fight, and then maybe we can link up soon. But yeah, Kevin Holland, unreliable as fuck, dude. Unreliable as fuck. Let's move on. Middleweight division. Now, there's a couple of guys in here that are kind of goofy goobers, right? There's a couple of guys rolling around middleweight that just, they have no idea what they're doing, let alone any of us. Like, if you're trying to pick them, good luck, because they don't even know what they're doing. Their coach is just like, have fun. Just figure it out, dude. Just pull them out and see what happens. Like, good luck consistently betting on somebody at middleweight, dude. But there is one man that, again, like Tim Elliott, it should be illegal to pick this guy because it's just never going to happen. Paul Craig, dude. Paul Craig. Literally, how can you sleep at night picking Paul Craig to win a fight? You can't. It has to be an upset. Every time Paul Craig wins, it has to be like, oh my god, he actually fucking won. You can't pick this guy, dude. It's just impossible. If you pick him, he will show up, roll for legs, and get chinned. This is what he does. This is his game, bro. And then when you get a matchup that, okay, logically speaking, I mean, you know, carry the 1 minus the 2. Paul Craig should lose this fight pretty easily. He throws up a fucking triangle and hits that shit perfectly, dude. So Paul Craig, definitely one of the most coin flip, unreliable fighters in the UFC. He's a cool dude. I like him. And sometimes that influences me as well to kind of pick him. Even when I know he's probably cooked. But that's the most annoying part about Paul Craig in this video, dude. The unreliableness, like, it comes from, I don't know how to explain it. You feel like he's going to lose the fight and then win if you're picking him. So the whole time you're like kind of holding out hope while you're just watching him do fucking nothing. And then he either does it when you don't pick him, or you pick him and you're like, okay, round 3, this is it. And he just fucking loses. So Paul Craig, definitely one of the better choices on this list. Let's move on to the light heavyweight division. And man, I feel, is that a Bang Energy tattoo? What the fuck are you doing? Let's move on. Johnny Walker, bro. Johnny Walker. Now listen, I'm personally not a Johnny Walker like super fan. I'm not picking this guy every fight like everybody else, but I can understand it, dude. And I can see the frustration from these people that pick Johnny Walker expecting a highlight reel KO, and they just get an absolute masterclass of mid. Johnny Walker is another perfect example of a guy. When you're picking him, you're like, all right, you better do something fucking crazy in this fight. You know, I think this matchup might be the one. And then he just calf kicks at range and gets chinned, right? That like that's what fucking happens, dude. But then when you're like, you know what? I don't think Johnny Walker's gonna win this one. Flying knee, your guy you picked is face down on the canvas twitching. You feel like a fucking idiot. Johnny Walker is a perfect example of a fighter that is either a world beater or you come in and you're like, oh my god, why did I pick this guy? And for that reason, I mean, if that isn't unreliable, I don't know what is, dude. That is my pick for light heavyweight division. And like I said at the start, this fight night got me thinking about one man in particular, and I've been listening to his song on Spotify nonstop. Jairzinho Rozenstruik, dude. Now I think he's gonna beat Shamil Gaziev. Maybe a controversial pick. I feel stupid even saying that, even though it's completely possible. The reason Jairzinho Rozenstruik is here and not Derek Lewis or Curtis Blades, who I'm sure you guys are thinking about right now. Curtis Blades is so good at going on runs that gaslight you into thinking he's reliable. I can't put him here. I'm still under his spell. Someone said he's like a toxic ex you keep going back to. I still think there's a Curtis Blades title run going to happen. So you might be right, bro. But Derek Lewis, you're not picking him because you think he's good or you think he's better than his opponent. You're kind of like, all right, is this going to be the fluke KO that gets him a title shot? You know what I'm saying? Like that's every Derek Lewis fight is just, okay, is this the one where he just chins the guy that's way better than him? Jairzinho Rozenstruik is not fighting very like elite competition, and he's losing to elite competition, but he beats pretty much everyone else, dude. And the thing about him is you can pick him and it makes sense. Like picking him against Gaziev makes perfect sense. Gaziev has one UFC title fight, one UFC fight, not a title fight yet, Jesus Christ. One UFC fight. He's kind of mid, like he gasses out pretty easily. He's a bit of an NPC Dagestani. Rozenstruik is either going to chin this dude completely or he's going to go full Frozen Strike mode, full Woodley mode. Not the leaked video. I'm talking about when he fights. Full Woodley mode and just stand against the cage and do nothing. It's impossible to fucking predict, even though you, like on paper, like Anthony Smith, he should win this fight, dude. He should win this fight. But I just can't rely on this guy. I almost want to pick Gaziev just because I'm like, Rozenstruik will fuck this up somehow. And for that reason, this is one of the most unreliable guys in the company, because then when I don't pick him, he looks good. And then when I pick him, it's like he forgets how to fucking strike, dude. So Rozenstruik, one of the most unreliable, unpredictable UFC fighters there is, especially when you're making picks. These are my choices of the most unreliable UFC fighters in my experience as picking fights. Let me know what fighters have let you down. What fighters can you just never trust? Drop those in the comments down below. Make sure you like the video, guys. Make sure you subscribe. I'm working really hard to put out content while I'm training for my fight with Matt Schnell. Appreciate all the support, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram @BedtimeMMA. I will see you in the next video, boys. Goodbye.